It's coffee break. Okay.
We got a lot to cover.
Yeah, this one is a big one. Just because that timestamp tells you different does not mean there's not a lot in front of us. What are you drinking again?
I got a monster. It's called, what is it? Ultra Fantasy Ruby Red. I got it because it has like cute little doodles of monster dudes on the can. It tastes like nothing. Near flavorless. Cute design though.
Yeah, it really says that's its name. It smells like grapefruit.
It really flavorless. Like it hits my tongue and it's just, nothing happens.
Yeah, no, there's like ruby grapefruit in there.
It's fun.
Yeah.
I will 9 times out of 10 I get something like a beverage because of the way the can looks.
Oh.
Every single time. The more fun the color combo, the better.
Sure. I got seltzer. Store brand seltzer.
Yep.
Artificially sweetened.
Just water with bubbles in it.
Yep. With a hint of something else in there.
I met you and you swore up and down about the greatness of seltzer. And I had tried it before and I wasn't a fan. And because I love you, I really tried. I put my heart into it. Could not get into seltzer.
It's one of the most amazing drinks you can ever have. Iced tea or seltzer all day.
What about a seltzer iced tea?
It doesn't work out that well.
Aw, dang.
Yeah, I tried. Okay. So, Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah.
The demo came out after they did their little showcase. Nintendo did. Mm-hmm. But the game is for everybody. It's not just for the Switch.
Yeah.
That demo is way bigger than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, demos are big now.
They are. They're massive. And it's a real-time strategy RPG. Mm-hmm. They're lore heavy with their own lore, which I'm like, there's no backstory to this. Like, I just have to keep playing.
I've played like several like Tales of games and Fire Emblem games, and every time it's like, are you ready for your new history lessons? And it's like, no, I can't.
The animation, it's designed to look old school, so it looks really good.
It's, what is it, 2.5D?
Yeah, it's 2.5.
Yeah.
Sometimes the characters will move, and it does look like they actually did look like they're looking at you or something else.
Mm-hmm. A nice aesthetic to replicate the idea of old school games.
Yep. All the girls are drawn as bulbous?
Big booby battle ladies.
Yeah.
You told me to look up one, Scarlet.
Yep.
And you told me that, because I was looking at a picture of her, and I'm like, what's wrong? She looks cute. And you were like, oh, the way when she moves, though. And I looked up a gif of her. Yeah. They put a lot of thought and effort into how her boobs would jiggle around.
Yeah. The unicorn thing is because he has the ring of the unicorn, because he's a prince. He has to go fight the bad guy, which I don't know. I did enjoy playing the demo.
Of all the fantasy creatures, unicorn, while I like them, I feel like we could have gone with a bit more of an interesting one.
Well, there was another group called the Tricorns.
Oh, immediately interest
and
waning.
They did not have like royalty or anything to it, so I was just like, what is going on with this? And the girl that you were talking about, she's like this high priestess that believes in the power of the unicorn and that it can show up and dispel evil.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I
would have gone with a manticore, personally.
There's other like animal things in there, but like there's griffins in there. Cool. I swear to God they spelled that wrong. Unless griffin's supposed to have a Y.
I've seen it both ways.
Okay.
I always knew it with an I. But
yeah, and then at that point you just have to worry like an RPG about your different attack classes and everything. So yeah, I did enjoy it. I recorded the first hour and 45 minutes, not the whole demo. That would have been ridiculous. Because there are side quests. Yeah. And I'm a completionist, and I was like, I need to stop this. I have other things to do.
Yeah, I remember back, like, I used to play, because you could download demos on the 3DS eShop. Mm-hmm. That was my thing. I loved it. It was my favorite thing ever. And yeah, back then, you would have, like, a mission, maybe two. And it was basically like, here's the characters, try gameplay, that's it. That's the end of your demo.
Yeah, just see how it functions, and then like a little taste of story, and that was it.
Yeah.
And now it's like full-on levels are in there. Mm-hmm. And then some of them, they're like, now that you've stopped at this point, go buy the game, and we'll just cross it over.
Yeah. Like, you basically just gotta skip the tutorial because you played it already when the demo came out.
Yeah.
A year in advance.
Well, Unicorn comes out next week.
Oh.
It will be $60.
I saw there was quote-unquote drama on Twitter around Unicorn Overlord because one person was like, ugh, the way they've altered the dialogue for the English dub is atrocious, and they're pointing it out, and they're just basically explaining that they don't understand metaphors.
Oh.
Because, like, the Japanese dialogue would be something like, you need to calm down, and the English translation would be something like, even a wild mare knows when to stop and reassess. You know, something that's just, like, a bit more pizzazz.
There are some moments of dialogue in there where I was like, huh, no one would ever say it like that.
A little too artsy.
And, well, I understand it's supposed to be a fantasy, and so when we do fantasy, people say thy, you know, or...
Thou.
Yeah, what is that? It's like Old English, right? Almost. Yeah, anyways. The little boy runs up to his mom at the beginning, and he goes, is something amiss? And I'm like, no fucking kid is saying amiss. I just go walk up to a coworker of yours and just ask them, is something amiss?
And watch them just have like a full mental, like they know those words in that order, but just what? No one says that. But yeah, the whole drama was...
Well, get alone a kid.
The dialogue isn't an exact one-to-one translation. And everyone's like, yeah, because if you did it that way, it would be boring.
Yes.
You need to have some personality in there.
If I had more time, if I had like a PlayStation Portal and time, I would get it for the PS5.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there's like over 100 characters, and I bet you have to play like 7 different times. I just don't...
Also, you get 100 different characters, but only like 7 of them is going to have any personality.
Oh, that was another thing I was getting into. I don't think it's in the demo. I just kept going without the demo.
Yeah.
Or without what I recorded. And even I didn't beat it with another like 3 hours added on to that. But they were like, you can hire mercenaries, up to 64 of them. And I was like, what? I got to keep track of 64 different... And then there's characters, and depending on when, like, how well they battle together, if they're, like, constantly winning, they develop rapport.
Just like Fire Emblem.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all kind of based on the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, check out Unicorn Overlord.
Yeah.
And another video dropped along with this one, which was me finishing up Silent Hill.
Yeah.
The short message. So I'm just going to talk about PowerOn really quick. Silent Hill, I finished it up. I don't know what's going on with the audio there. I'm not recording myself. I turned off my mic.
Okay.
So it doubled. I showed you it. It was like doubling the...
Yeah.
But the footage is fine. Just the audio is weird. And then after that, once I bring my mic back down and start talking, everything worked out.
Okay.
Screw games that do that shit to you. Okay, if you have to run away from your opponent and you're not allowed to do anything about it, but run in a mindless maze to figure out where things are, hint, the only hints is colors and your phone.
It's like I was telling you, it's exactly like Shattered Memories. Like I was telling you, like 2 or 3 podcasts ago, that is the exact thing they make you do.
Other than that, you pretty much have no idea. There's a hallway where I was like, I'm pretty sure there's something in here. Nope, just that damn monster coming out of the hallway. I went around the monster, went back through the hallway, there was still nothing there. Just reconnecting me back to where I started. I hate that. Oh my god. And then I realized I'm just stuck. It's everything in the other parts, but with the monster running around. Basically, they just built one level.
Dang.
And then re-washed it 3 times.
I'm hopeful for Silent Hill, but They have a history of dropping the ball.
The storyline, it's too teen angsty for me.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Stranger Things, but I'm gonna say it gives me that kind of vibe.
Everyone's trying to do that.
Yeah, and then I found out that monster, I thought it was the witch. Mm-hmm. The project originally was called Project Sakura, which means cherry blossom, not horse meat.
That's a thing. It also can mean horse meat.
You're weird.
We
call it Elmer's, okay? And it's good. Yeah, and then that creature is called Cherry Blossom Head or CB Head.
Real creative.
Or Sakura Head, yeah.
So creative.
We'll get it, Pyramid Head, Sakura Head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it was cool that Konami did that and just dropped a free game.
Yeah, that is cool. They didn't need to do that.
They kind of do because of Silent Hill being not doing anything.
True. Like, we've been waiting for a while.
I would love to just play, I don't know, like Silent Hill 4, The Room. Mm. Just port it over to the PS5 or PS4.
Honestly,
I would sit there and play it. Okay, let's begin coffee break proper. Oh, anything from you?
About what?
Any updates you want to tell anybody?
Oh, I'm just working. I'm working hard this week. The video is going to be...
I wouldn't say so.
Boo.
Called it quits at 4. He went to work at 8.
I have a lot to do. No, this week's video is going to be kind of... It's a smaller piece of my larger Has Been Hotel video. I'm just going to release my song ranking section as a separate video on its own.
Because it's so big.
Yeah, that and also song rankings are fun. And it just gives me another week to keep working on Ever After High. I am so close to finishing it. I just have all this artwork I need to do. And I'm really close to finishing it.
I left you alone all weekend and you still didn't finish it.
I drew 50 pictures.
Wow.
It's so many pictures that I had to draw it, and then I had to go over all the drawings in ink, and then I had to go through and erase all of the pencil markings, and then I had to take like pictures of all of them to send it to myself to get it onto my computer. Whole thing, whole process, but I'm almost done with it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it goes well for you. Okay, here we go. David Benioff and D.B. Weiss. They are the show creators and showrunners of Game of Thrones.
Okay. You dove into their names so quickly. And I'm like, what's happening? What are we talking about?
Well, remember I said there's a lot of information here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So they are releasing their new series because they left HBO a few months or weeks after they finished Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. And they went over to Netflix because they got a great deal with Netflix. It's a really expensive deal.
A lot of people...
$200 million just to get those two to make a show for them.
I mean, yeah.
Because they wanted the Game of Thrones thing. Mm-hmm. Which, Game of Thrones was so long ago.
Yeah, a lot of people are... Like, I saw a review. It was a single tweet. And it was like, Shogun is the Game of Thrones of this... And I keep seeing people being like, we need to stop comparing everything to Game of Thrones. This genre exists beyond just Game of Thrones. It's been years.
Okay. Game of Thrones was the most recent one to make it popular.
True.
With, I would say, Lord of the Rings back in 2003.
Yeah. But still.
Anyways, these guys are releasing a new show called Three Body Problem. It's based on a science fiction novel. And I read the premise. I'm confused. It has to do with joining...
Yeah, it's a science fiction book. They're always so
joining
confusing.
Like a secret NASA mission where they can telepathically communicate with extraterrestrials who are planning to invade the planet.
Jeez.
That's what I gathered. I could be completely wrong.
Okay.
Anyways, Benioff and Weiss did open up about Game of Thrones, about the last season and what was going on there.
Yeah.
At the time, Warner Brothers was owned by AT&T. Okay? The CEO of AT&T asked the HBO and the guys if they can shoot Game of Thrones episodes vertically so that it would be better in people's hands. Not thinking about the fact that it's going to be broadcasted on a television. Ugh. He was thinking more about the phones. They told him that is impractical. We're not doing that.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
Then they were like, what if we can make smaller episodes for the phone? Does that sound familiar? Mm-hmm. Quibi.
Wow.
So people were throwing around this idea of Quibi for a while. They also said, no, we don't want to do that. And it would be impractical because of the budget. Mm-hmm. Game of Thrones episodes are, what, 20 million to 100 million?
And it's clear, it's just like, you can tell it's some old executive who doesn't fully understand what TikTok is and is trying to do something TikTok.
Well, would TikTok have been around at that time? Or is this that in-between time after Vine and TikTok?
It would have been around at in the last season of Game of Thrones. In its early stages, maybe. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't download it until the year after.
Okay.
Or 2 years after. One of them.
Okay. And then another thing was the two creators wanted to actually break the last 2 seasons from, instead of being... I wrote 13 episodes over 2 seasons. I think it's 12.
Dang.
They're really small seasons, but they didn't want to do that. They wanted to make 3 movies.
Yeah.
And which HBO told them, you're not making movies, you're making a TV show for us. So that kind of put them back into the spot where they couldn't make the movies.
Dang.
So even at the end, why there was a lot of problems with Game of Thrones was due to the popularity, not having the content already pre-planned out. Still haven't had it.
Yeah.
George is doing nothing.
Well, I bet after seeing the backlash that last season got, I bet he's sitting there being like, what do I do? They're going to hate it.
He has to finish it. Well,
he also said he accidentally killed off a character that now he realizes he should have kept around. And it's like, well, sucks. Pick a different character.
Yeah, make a new character.
Make a resurrection thing. It's a fantasy world. Do whatever you want, man. It's your story.
True. Yes, I just thought all that was really interesting and unexpected to find out way later.
Yeah.
Because HBO would go on to make another Game of Thrones show, which they shot the pilot.
Which one?
It never came to life.
Dang.
A lot of people saw it inside Hollywood, and they're like, yeah, that was not going to work.
It's crazy that Game of Thrones was huge. It was like everyone, like people's servers were shutting down because everyone was on HBO to watch it.
Yeah.
And even then, still, you have executives meddling in the process.
Yep. Even
though they're like, oh, but what if you do this? No, it didn't become popular and famous by being vertical executives.
It's no surprise to me that last season would be so rocky. Mm-hmm. When you find out that pretty much everyone was trying to shove their fingers into it, or whatever else they could, because they thought that they can control it into being something bigger than...
They want their little piece of the pie.
Yep.
Their cut.
But it was already lightning in a bottle. Mm-hmm. So, what did you want after that? More Game of Thrones!
Hell yeah!
I'm not kidding. We already know about the second season of House of Dragon.
Yep.
Right? House of Dragon was a good season. The first season. It was fun. Weird during the time skip, but you get used to it quickly.
Yes. It's when you're like, oh, every episode we're doing, like, years.
Yes, because they're trying to do this thing in, like, 5 seasons.
Yeah.
They're now doing a 3rd series. So never mind that 4th one that I said never went anywhere. There's a 3rd series. Okay, it's
Isn't it about Aegon or something?
Yeah, it's based on a trilogy of novellas called The Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, and it will tell the story of the Hedge Knight and his faithful companion or squire Egg. Mm-hmm. Egg is Aegon the Conqueror, the one who made the prophecy. So this is a prequel.
Yeah, that's what I'm intrigued by. Because even though I know in the end he dies, he makes a prophecy, like,
Yeah.
there's less about his story that we can know about.
It doesn't really matter. He basically, what I was reading is he becomes the knight, and then he just dominates the entire Westeros, and then he divides it up into the families.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, was that something we needed to...
But we have to franchise everything. We have to keep milking that cash cow.
Late 2025.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
2025 is the year to live in. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about all
Another 2025 thing?
Not only that, but like all that Thrones information.
It's not surprising.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because, like, the moment something gets big, it's like you mentioning with Stranger Things.
Yeah.
The moment something big happens, everyone wants to keep doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why Stranger Things was supposed to wrap in season 4, but all we're just gonna, or 5, whatever the last one was, but all we're just gonna push it for one more season to get a little bit more money.
I noticed the Ghostbusters reboot is kind of similar in that fashion of young kids using retro things
Well,
to...
like, half the cast is the same.
yeah, there's that too. John Wick, another franchise.
Woo.
Okay.
Everything's a franchise. Everything's a franchise.
The spin-off Ballerina, starring Ana de Armas, I hope I said that right,
I think so.
It's been delayed from this June to next year.
Damn.
Because they want to film more action sequences.
Another 2025. We told you. 2024 is the year of nothing happening.
2025 is the year to live in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ian McShane, he plays the hotel owner of the Continental.
Yeah.
He's the one who overwatches to make sure no assassins commit any crimes in there.
Yeah.
He said in an interview, it's preserve the John Wick universe.
Okay, sure.
Well...
the intricate universe.
Yeah, one of the producers was like, no, it's to make it fit more within the universe. It's not like preserving anything. It's just basically more time to work on it because they want to build... Universal wants to build this into a long-lasting franchise.
Something a la James Bond or something like that.
They have a John Wick 5 planned, despite what happens to the titular character.
We just give another guy the same name.
Yeah.
Like I said, James Bond.
We have
007.
Ballerina.
Mm-hmm.
We already had a TV show from back in the day, Continental.
Yep.
They're making an interactive experience in Vegas.
Wow.
And they're going to make a video game.
About time.
That's what we needed.
That's what I miss. Weird video game tie-ins to semi-popular movies and shows.
Yeah. I feel like John Wick doesn't need to be a franchise.
It really doesn't. I mean, already we've separated ourselves from the character of John Wick. But they keep dragging that name around.
Yep.
Especially when you go back and you watch the first one. It's like, this was not intended to be a long franchise with, like, intricately connected lore and characters.
Yeah.
It was a smart story, and then, once again, a money-hungry executive was like, I can make more money. Do it again.
I think the first one's a great film. Mm-hmm. And then as... I've only seen the first 3, but as they keep going, they get worse and worse and worse.
I fell asleep in the third one.
Yeah.
I could not.
You get used to just guys beating up guys.
Mm-hmm.
Because of the delay of Ballerina, The Crow will take its place.
Yeah.
The Crow is a remake of a 90s cult classic, The Crow, based on a comic book.
Yep.
And in the movie, The Crow was played by Brandon Lee. This would be the movie where Brandon Lee would be fatally murdered.
Now, Bill Skarsgård.
Accidentally.
Yes. Now, Bill Skarsgård is playing him.
Pennywise.
And we've seen some pictures of what he's gonna look like now.
And why did we make a Joker again?
Interest just immediately lost. Like, what was wrong with the face paint?
Didn't Suicide Squad come out in 2014? And now we got The Crow in 2024.
Yeah.
So every 14th Is this gonna... So in 2034, we're gonna have another character who's just, like, all tattooed out?
It's just so... It's such a dumb... Like, oh... Make it a realistic twist on the old comic books art style. No, we don't need to keep doing that. We can just, you know what I would love to see? Harley Quinn in her, like, original outfit. No, like, cute little...
black and red?
Yeah. No cute little, like, twist to modernize it or make it more realistic and grounded.
There's a scene of her wearing it in the Suicide Squad.
When?
She's with the Joker.
When? Which Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad, not the Suicide Squad.
Telling me the is or not does not tell me which. Is it the good one or the bad one?
Bad one.
Okay. Yeah, I'd like to see. I'm so tired of the gritty realism of superhero movie costume designs. I think that's run its course. Give me some more goofy looking dudes, you know?
Yeah. Eric Draven's not supposed to look like a druggie.
Yeah.
That was my big problem. He's supposed to look like a rocker.
Mm-hmm.
And is he not even playing rock anymore? He's like now a hip hop artist.
He's like an EDM electronic real Skrillex vibes.
I DJ at raves, but I don't do drugs.
One of his instruments is a Game Boy. He's hooked up to his Vox box.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm not looking too forward to The Crow.
Mm-hmm.
But that's out this summer.
Well, I'll wait till we see a trailer. But I'm not. I lost a lot of interest seeing those pictures of it.
Yeah, me too. A movie that will go up against The Crow this summer, released during the same day, is Bad Boys 4.
Oh.
So, nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted this. Nobody knew they did this.
No.
And it's not titled yet. Now, I was like, what is the title of it? Like, what are they thinking? It's like, Ride or Die, or Bad... Yeah, I think it's called Ride or Die is what they were thinking about.
Okay.
The third movie is called Bad Boys for Life.
Guys, for life could have been the 4. 4. It's like Pokemon Forever.
But it's like Batman.
Uh-huh.
Batman Forever, Batman and Robin.
Yeah.
Batman Forever is the third one with Michael Keaton. No,
I don't think I've ever watched any of the
Val Kilmer.
I don't think I've ever watched any of the Bad Boys movies.
I watched them a long time ago. But... yeah, it's just not my thing. And especially in a world where we live with John Wick and Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
I don't really need their level of action because everything's been so upgraded.
It's going to be a weird summer.
It's going to be a very boring summer. Okay, Rick Riordan, the author of Pussy Jackson, announced last week that Netflix has decided not to move forward with a trilogy of films based on the spin-off series, The Kane Chronicles.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this, and it's the same exact premise. It's the same story, but now Egyptian gods. Ooh.
But not only that, they're brother and sister.
What? Wait, what do you mean?
There's two Kanes.
Oh yeah?
It's a brother and sister going out and to discover who they truly are and their lineage.
And do they get a third friend? Because all stories go in pairs of 3.
Yes. Well, we know that already. If anyone's taking writing classes or has and just studied basic film, Luke,
Leia, and Han.
I almost called Han Harry.
Well, then Harry, Ron, Hermione, Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura. They're everywhere.
Frodo, Sam, and Smeagol.
Yep, the classic. Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli. So yeah, 3. It's also nice because it's like easier to...
Rafe and Poe.
Yep. It's easy to have banter when it's 3. And Ruby will teach you. When you have 4, you tend to split them into pairs.
Yeah. No, yeah. I can see that happening, especially if you have like 5.
Yep.
When you start to really divide it up. So Netflix decided not to do these films because they were struggling since 2020 to write a script that they liked. And because of that, they just decided to turn around the option and send them back to him. And just be like, we're not going to work on this. Damn. I think it's because they couldn't figure out how to do it. They didn't really want to do it. And then they saw what Disney did and how people reacted to that one. Mm-hmm. And they're like, why would we even want to touch this?
Honestly, at that point, just make it... Go to, like, an animation studio. With this magic and gods and whatever.
No, just take it back to Disney.
I guess.
Give it to Disney. If they're going to already do... the Olympians Chronicles, whatever.
Yeah.
Then go have them do the other ones. And then you can have crossovers, and then...
Wow. You can have... All those fans will be so jazzed.
The Jackson multiverse. The true Neverland Disney needed.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Disney will probably look at them and be like, I bet we can make a... You know, like how they did with Diary of a Wimpy Kid? They turned them into really crappy animated movies.
Yep.
Sorry if you like them. I was upset they stopped with the live action.
Yeah, they changed all the actors in the last live action one.
It's because they waited too long. They got too old.
They did.
You have to make them, like, constantly.
Also, let's be real. Greg, the main wimpy kid, and he's an asshole. He is the villain of his own story.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. He has to learn from his own lessons.
He makes all... I remember how the original Diary of a Wimpy Kid ended, and then it kept going because the book was popular. And the original, his dad was threatening to send him to military school because he kept fucking up. And I was like, that seems pretty extreme. And then in hindsight, I was like, no, yeah, that makes perfect sense. This guy is such a piece of shit.
Wow. Vin Diesel has revealed that Fast and the Furious 11...
Oh, okay.
Is the final one.
Is it?
In the mainline series. They're going to continue to produce more spin-offs.
I can't believe...
Wait, I'm not done.
So many movies. I've seen one, and I was like, that didn't seem worth getting any more sequels. And it has so many.
Remember this morning, I was like, how many Spider-Man movies are there?
Yeah.
There's 10 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about how many Transformer movies there are,
yep,
there's 7. There's about to be 8, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's an animated one. And I don't know if it's CGI or hand-drawn, but it's part of the same universe that the live-action ones have been in.
Cool. Give me more animated. Stop making live-action things. Just make more animated things. They're cool.
Yeah, it's just... What? There's 11 Star Wars movies?
Yep.
Hollywood went way too hard with this franchising.
Mm-hmm. Oh, 8, 9, 10, 11 Harry Potter movies?
Yep. Harry Potter 2026 TV series. That's all I know.
Uh-huh.
Going back to franchises, Superman Legacy, a reboot of Superman.
Yep.
Will begin filming, or has begun filming. The code name that it's working under is Genesis.
Cool.
Just so, if you guys are looking around trying to find it.
Well, now that information's out there, they're probably going to have to change it. Like, when people found out that...
I'd call it Snow Globe.
I think it was, like, Winter Soldier. They had some cutesy little name, but then people figured out what it was, so they had to change it. So they could continue to film in peace.
What was the name of Winter Soldier? Because it was something clever but cute.
Wasn't it the year he went under the ice? Something like that? Like 62 or when did that happen?
1962.
As soon as the word 60 left my mouth, I was like, oh, I know that's wrong.
He was fighting Nazis in 1962.
It was like 30 something.
Wow.
I don't know dates. I was always bad at dates in history class.
I would say he probably went down around 1945.
Okay.
That would be Victory Europe Day.
Yep, okay.
That's typically the year that the war is determined to be over.
Because it's kind of weird to judge when wars are over. Because just because it's over for one country doesn't mean it's over for the other countries.
Yeah, so basically the Allies beat up the Western Axis and then turned their gaze towards Japan.
Yeah.
So even though Europe is done, and some can consider World War II over, there is still the Pacific Rim.
Yep.
Which would take a few more years or months.
Something like that.
It was way more brutal. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 will begin filming this summer, intended for a 2025 release. There is a gun. Why
More
are we stuck here?
2025 in this hell year. I heard a rumor that Seth
That next year is the greatest year we'll ever get to live in our lives.
I heard a rumor that Seth MacFarlane's gonna be in the sequel.
Why?
Because he's gonna play the person who, like, rebought the Fazbear Entertainment. That would make sense. He could do that character, if it's the right character I'm thinking about.
Why are we getting the guy who already plays a teddy fucking bear?
Well, he's not gonna be one of the bears.
He's got a bear thing, doesn't he? He had that one character that was straight up just a bear in the Cleveland show.
Uh-huh. I don't think he
sad.
voiced him either.
He did voice him.
Which one? The bear?
Yeah, he voiced the bear.
I don't really remember.
Jason Sudeikis was the little guy that was his neighbor.
Was he really?
Yes.
Wow. Huh.
Weird show. He got canceled for a very strange reason, but reasonable reason. Naruto live action!
Yeah, that's running around the rumor mill. One Piece did really well, and then everyone else was like, now we can do it too!
You can clearly see that there's a path here where I can diverge and go on for a while. All I wanted to say at this point, because all we know about this live action Naruto is it was announced back in 2018 by Lionsgate, and they were never able to work out anything, but they still kept or retained to rights, right?
Okay.
So they've now signed on Destin Daniel Cretton, who was the director and writer of... Maybe writer? I know he directed Shang-Chi.
Okay.
And he's supposed to work on Shang-Chi too. And there's a rumor that he will direct Secret Wars, which is Avengers 6.
Jeez, if all this is true, he's got a lot on his plate.
Yeah, and he's got Naruto showing up. Shang-Chi 2 does not have a release date.
No, I didn't even know there was going to be one.
It's really annoying that they have this great character that keeps sidelining.
Oh, it's been years.
It has been.
It frustrates me.
Naruto, 2015. They've been holding on the rights.
You know what? I feel like I remember hearing like rumor mill stuff about that back in the day.
Yep.
But then nothing ever happened with it.
The creator of Naruto, Masashi Kishimoto.
Masashi Kishimoto.
That's what I said.
He said Masashi.
Went to the internet and shared his enthusiasm for him. Destined to be directing and making Naruto come to life.
Hooray! Well, he's excited.
Let's put the idea of Naruto live action on the back burner.
Okay.
We're gonna go into video games really quick. The Mickey Mouse remake.
Like what? Epic Mickey
yes.
rebrushed,
retooled.
One of them. I don't.
So it is a remake from the ground up.
Yeah, someone had like the footage from the trailer compared to the same cutscene from the original, and you can tell it's like the same shots and everything, but it's completely new animation.
Yeah. Someone leaked that, and they leaked shortly after that was revealed, so their leak was true. They also leaked that Nintendo is planning to release Metroid Prime 4 this year for the Nintendo Switch.
Wow, it's finally happening. Finally.
It's still a rumor.
After all these years.
And we know early next year, March 2025, the Switch 2 is coming out.
We know that?
We know that. The reason why they're pushing it back, insiders are saying because they want to make enough copies or units.
They don't want to do what PlayStation did?
Yep, they don't want scalping. So basically they're going to try and stockpile the Switch 2s until they can just drop, I guess, millions onto the market.
Yeah, that's what you were theorizing that we'll get to it in detail with Pokemon news, but you were theorizing that the new Pokemon game was going to be on the Switch too, and that's why it's 2025.
So yeah, Metroid Prime 4 is supposedly supposed to come out later this year. What I'm curious about was, long time ago, there was rumors that they were going to port Metroid Prime 2 and 3, Corruption.
Yeah.
1 did make it, but where is 2 and 3?
Yeah, I don't know.
I figured they would slowly release them.
Yeah, there's a lot of things Nintendo that you would figure what they would do. It's like, hey, everyone's begging for new F-Zero. Well, we're not going to do that. Why? But why?
Yeah. In the UK, about 90 million PlayStation users have been overcharged for games and services over a 6-year period.
Damn.
This became a lawsuit, and now they owe the console owners. If you owned a console from 2016 to 2022 in the UK, you might be eligible to get money.
Hell yes.
But
good for them. Stick it to the man.
Sony, especially that 2016.
6 years? That's a long time to be goofing up. They knew, and they were just hoping they were going to get away with it. 100%.
I bet they were playing around with the Brexit thing, because that would have been right there.
Oh, true.
Then all the inflation, the pandy-wandy.
Yep. A lot of, man, God. Tired of living through big historical events.
Next up was Sony again. They're making the PSVR 2 work or be compatible with PCs. Mm-hmm. So you don't need to have a PlayStation in order to use it. And this makes them one step closer to being on the same level of the market with Meta.
Yeah.
And we now have the Apple thing coming out.
The thing is, I don't think VR is ever going to really take off.
You're going to hold out for the holodeck and you're not going to get it.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only thing that I think could make it work is a holodeck type deal. But even then, I don't think it's going to work.
Watch that holodeck. When you get to it, you'll be about 70 years old. And it'll have the same graphics of...
like an app game from 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's going to be pixely AF. Yeah, so box office.
Box office.
Bob Marley, One Love, still ripping.
Wow. Good for him.
Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba.
Oh, yeah. There's like...
Why didn't you just give me the English translation first?
I know. Isn't that
to
annoying?
The Hashiara training.
People who insist on using the Japanese title for, like, anime... when there is an English translated title, those people who insist on using the Japanese ones, assholes. Pretentious, full of themselves, weeb wannabe pieces of shit. It's like they'll be like, oh, this my favorite anime. And I'm like, which one's that one? And then they'll describe it. I'm like, oh, you mean Land of the Lustrous. It has a fucking name. Just call it its English name. We're speaking English to each other. If I was in Japan, I wouldn't call something like SpongeBob. SpongeBob doesn't work because that's his name. I wouldn't call, like, the Lion King the Lion King. I would call it the Japanese name for the Lion King.
They say it to make themselves look like they're more cultured, okay? Mm-hmm. It's a pompous way to go about things.
It's like, I know some Japanese. It's like, yeah, and you're also no fun to talk to.
Number 3, Ordinary Angels. Number 4, Madam Web. Dropped 60.9% here in North America.
Damn, I haven't even seen anyone talking about it. Not even to hate on it.
Oh, thank you for everyone who listened to last week. Mm-hmm. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that.
Hell yeah.
Number 5, Migration. Number 6, Argyle. Number 7, Wonka. Wonka will be on Warner Brothers or Max very soon.
Did you hear about the fake Wonka scam thing that happened in Glasgow, I think it was, or something? Okay, so someone made, like, really bad AI images to promote a, like, Wonka Land type deal, like an amusement park. And if you look at it, it's, like, bad AI. He barely looks human. His hand is, like, a mutant blob. So, obviously, and then they used AI to create fake images of what the park would look like. And then parents showed up, and it was, like, a near empty, warehouse. There was like 2 employees who looked like miserable, half-assed Oompa Loompa costumes. And it was just like a nightmare. And it's everyone's talking about how incredibly shoddy it is and how this is how AI is bad. Because they used AI to trick people with all this stuff.
That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I'm glad people fell for that.
Yes.
You need to know the clear difference between AI and real art. Mm-hmm. I love that AI is now just showing straight up real art or pictures.
Nope. Bad. Ugly.
No, it's interesting because it can't replicate it.
It's true. It's always the hands. It's always the weird details, like the ribbons. And whenever, like, if your character has, like, a lot of straps, there's always something that's not right.
It's usually their faces. Yeah. And their hands.
Their hair will, like, melt into their face.
Yep.
You gotta look for them.
Number 8, Drive Away Dolls. Number 9, I don't know how, but the Beekeeper's still on this goddamn list.
Oh.
And number 10, The Chosen, Season 4, Episodes 1 through 6.
Okay.
So I'm just glad Madam Web got knocked down. Nobody liked it.
Nope.
No one wants to talk about it.
Bad movie. Why do corporations make bad movies?
Because they want to franchise it out.
It's so weird. Like, throughout the process, you'd think they'd sit there and be like, this is going to be a bad movie. We need to change something. Mm-hmm. And not, oh, it's the end. Batwoman is done being filmed. Just get rid of it in its entirety.
Oh, the directors of Bad Boys for Life and Bad Boys 4 are the guys who did Batgirl.
Wow.
So I was like, I guess they would have time after that, huh? But yeah, I thought that was an interesting crossover. Shogun, FX's new Japanese epic.
Yeah. Everyone's comparing it to
100% of Rotten Tomatoes.
Everyone's comparing it to Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones of the East.
Sure.
Not Easteros. Easteros. Yesteros.
What'd you think of the first 2 episodes?
Damn, it took them forever to tell me the plot.
It's a lot.
There was too much.
Also,
they all kind of look the same to me, and I'm not trying to be rude.
They all have very similar hairstyles.
All the men
Which
I'm
makes
talking
sense.
about.
That was like you were supposed to. That was the thing you were supposed to do.
And then at the end, I started to really see the difference in them. But I didn't understand why the Emperor's there, but they're gonna like vote to kick him out. And then there's this other guy. What were they called? I'm not even going to get the terms right. But the one village where they were more interested in Blackthorn, who is a white...
Yeah, so that's the thing. So it promotes itself like this is an Eastern show about the Shogun, and about it's about Japanese, like, ploys for power and royalty. And,
yes.
And then, surprise, actually, our main character is the one white man.
He's not the main character, but he's one of them.
I don't know, we spent a lot of time on him.
He's a Protestant from England, and he's there to kill Catholics.
Yep.
He's not there to fight the Japanese. Mm-hmm. In fact, he made that clear. He was like, I'm not... If you join me in this war, we can win. Mm-hmm. And... what Japan found out there at the end was that the Catholics actually were in control.
Mm-hmm. Or trying to, like, overthrow their governments and stuff.
Yeah, so basically there's going to be 3 factions here. Mm-hmm. Because some of the noblemen of feudal Japan were already influenced by the priests. Mm-hmm. Due to being paid off. Very political heavy.
Yes.
Lots of names and titles thrown around.
A lot of names.
Strong accents.
So many.
And not Japanese accents. I mean, like, everyone has accents.
Portuguese accents.
Spanish. British.
It's a lot, and you're going to need subtitles. There's a dubbed version, which I could only imagine is the, like, worser version to watch.
I wonder if they filmed it where they just speak English.
I don't think so. To do every scene twice, one in Japanese, one in English, that would be a nightmare.
I don't think I would translate everything to English.
Nah.
Like, there's a scene where Blackthorn gets captured.
Yes.
And
that happens like 5 times in the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
This poor dude's just being tossed from one group to the next.
Always getting really near death. But the one guy that saved him, who was in charge of saving him, called him a dog.
Yeah.
And he's like insulting him, but it's actually kind of a funny joke. I wouldn't translate that.
Yeah.
The show is violent, but not as violent as you think. Only 2 heads got chopped off and a person got boiled alive.
Yeah, I can definitely see, like, we're gonna dive into violence, like, real heavy later on if we keep going up.
Well, if they build a Shogun, which was pretty much being proposed at the end of that second episode. First 2 episodes are out right now. You can find them on Hulu.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna build a Shogun to battle the Catholics.
Yeah. It's a lot. That's the biggest thing, which is always going to happen with shows like this.
Yeah. I did not think it was as perfect and masterful as everyone said it was.
Yeah, like, it was fine. It's good. Definitely, like, higher quality than most shows. But, you know, I don't know.
Kind of tell me the plot
It's hard to, yeah.
before I'm 2 hours into it.
Yeah. It's a lot of, like, so what exactly are we doing?
Yeah, the second episode begins and you're introduced to new characters and you're like, what? So, go check it out. I wonder what you guys think. Comment below if you've seen it. Okay, the big news.
The big one.
Avatar.
It happened.
The way of water is the way of air.
That doesn't even mean anything.
Well, the way of water doesn't mean much either.
I mean...
Wouldn't it be the flow?
I guess, yeah. The movement.
Avatar The Last Airbender, live action remake.
Yep.
Second one of its kind.
Yes. Marked improvement from the Shyamalan. I don't know, anyone who says it's worse than the Shyamalan movie is just being exaggerative.
Are people saying that?
Some people, like, I've seen things on Twitter, but it's always like, clearly they're just trying to get clicks and views and whatever.
Yeah, no, it's better than the original one. It's still not perfect. Took me some time to get used to Sokka.
He got into his role. He was the funniest one. He did jokes.
Yeah, he did his jokes. He even did his jokes for the kids. It's just not my cup of tea.
It's fine. The first 2 episodes are horrible.
Yeah, again, first 2 episodes suck. Once you get past it, then you begin your journey.
Which is such a shame. It's like the same but exact opposite of the animated one. Because after this, we started watching the animated version again.
We've already finished it. We finished the first season.
Yeah, we're in the second season.
Book 2, Earth.
The best one, by the way. But
it's Book 2, Souls.
The spirits.
Spirits, sorry.
The first 2 episodes of the animation is also really terrible, but in the exact opposite way. The first 2 episodes of the live action is so over the top, dramatic, and like exposition heavy and all that, like it takes itself so painfully seriously that it's like really slow pacing wise.
Yep.
Very heavy, it's a lot. It's not exactly exciting. But the opposite with the animation, the first 2 episodes are so goofy, like Nickelodeon stupid level. There's like 5 sneeze jokes in the first 2 episodes of the animation.
Yep.
So it doesn't really hint at the actual tone of the show. After the first 2 episodes, both the live action and the animation hits a much more natural tone between drama and comedy. You just have to get past I think it's harder with the live action one though, because each episode is an hour at least, where with the cartoon it's 22 minutes.
Yeah, the first live action episode is the first 3 episodes shoved together. And then the second episode is the 4th episode, but expanded out into an hour.
Yeah, they really could have done something more with the Kyoshi Island stuff.
They made some unique changes. I didn't know Kyoshi was supposed to be that big.
Yeah, she's huge.
6'3".
The biggest avatar.
She lived for 230 years.
Did she really? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Wow. There's
Like,
a whole
there's-
comic book about her.
She was capable of flying, like she was doing. Yeah, That's a little creepy to me.
She's a lot. She is a lot.
Yeah.
Even in the animation, we could tell she's a lot.
Yeah. Fire Nation. Well done.
Zuko and Iroh were the best parts.
Yep.
100%. Like, the actors, 10 out of 10.
Ozai did a great job. He's also a voice actor. He did a random role in the animated original, and then he did a
He's a
voice acting role in Korra.
He's Hiroshi Sato in Korra, Asami's dad, the creator of the Sato Mobile.
Asami is Korra's love interest, right?
Yes.
Who is voiced by the girl who played the Moon Princess in the live-action
Shyamalan version.
movie, yes.
Yeah.
Which is even more confusing.
So many crisscross, but everyone's everywhere. What was I gonna say? Oh, I think my least favorite part about the live action one is Azula.
Being introduced?
Bless you. Bless you? Coughing?
I guess.
Sneezing? It wasn't that she was introduced. I'm fine with that. They always try to introduce her early.
Yeah, well, M. Night Shyamalan did that too.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have.
It was, her arc felt very boring to me. Like, Azula, I'm fine with her not being, like, the perfect, manipulative, evil woman like we see in the show. I'm fine with playing around with her for a little bit in a bit of a different light. But it's just a boring arc. Learn to use blue flame. Figure out how to do lightning.
Yeah.
Very boring. It was so boring for her character. And Mei and Ty Lee were pointless the entire
Also
time.
not supposed to be there. Ko was moved. That was weird. They did Ko right?
He was good.
But, yeah, he shows up in the wrong spot.
They had Wan Shi Tong show up. The owl. He's not supposed to be there.
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
I was like, you're not Heibai. What the fuck?
They're really banking on a second season. And I think they're going to get it.
I think so.
It's not bad enough to be like, oh, screw you guys, but it's not good enough to be like, damn, we need that next season.
It was fine. I feel like with a second season, they could go above and beyond.
Yeah, maybe with a better budget or... I feel like you need to do more than 8 episodes.
Yes. That's also the biggest thing. If they do get a second season, all the actors are going to be noticeably older.
Yeah, so they filmed this 3 years ago. Yeah, just look at the actors today and you'll be like, there's a clear difference that it's been 3 years. It's not just because the little boy, Gordon, who plays Aang, has his hair.
Yeah.
He's actually taller.
A lot changes between 11 and 13.
Yeah. 14.
14, yeah.
He was a little tiny kid.
He was.
I mean, I was kind of concerned about his safety. When he was standing next to Katana. Not Jesus. Katara.
This is Katana. Her sword sucks up the souls of her bad guys.
Yeah. She was standing there, and she's like in her 18s, 19s.
Something like
right?
that.
But she was just so much taller than him.
Yeah, he was tiny.
And then when he was fighting the guy who was playing Zuko, who's about the same age, yeah, I mean, he's like a whole another person taller, and I was like, you got the like smallest little kid to play Aang.
Yeah, but he did a good job.
He does. It takes a while for that arrow.
Yeah, the arrow is too dark and too down.
Yeah, I think they pushed it way too far down his forehead.
It's fine. It's technically fine.
Yeah. Appa and Momo look like poop.
Yeah, bad CG monsters, because of course, can't get a puppet. Heaven forbid.
Yeah, the bending graphics are atrocious.
Right. They got better towards the end.
Really, you like that kaiju? It
No.
was so believable.
No, it was...
It looks bad in the original also.
I think the biggest thing is, like, it covers up a lot of the screen. Like, when a water attack will fill the screen. When a fire attack will obscure a character's face. And it's like, it doesn't look good enough to cover up this much of the screen.
Yeah. Well, they're obviously doing that to save money on budget. And they saved a lot.
They sure did.
So, not only is there a sequel season, but there's going to be a lot more Avatar in the coming years.
Yep.
From what I've been able to find was that... You gotta do that here, dude?
He's excited about Avatar.
I'm really tired of him doing that in every episode.
Well, that's how you know it's a coffee break episode.
Season 4 book air was planned. Rumors suggest it wasn't. I keep finding information about what it was supposed to be, how it was supposed to contain a Azula redemption arc.
Yeah, but they did that in the comics.
Yeah, and then Aang was supposed to go on a vacation with Zuko to work out his emotions.
Yeah, I think that's all just in the comics at this point.
Yeah, well, it makes sense that it would just turn into a comic instead of being... What, they're going to do season 4 now?
Yeah, even though the plot has wrapped up, you want more story?
October 2025. 2025. Here we go.
There it is again. Everything happens. 2025.
A film centered on adult Aang will be released.
Animated?
Yes, and it will be for Paramount Plus.
Woohoo!
A standalone Zuko film will be in 2026.
Okay.
Which I'm pretty sure will be this redemption arc.
It might be him looking for his mother.
Could be. A standalone Kyoshi film is in the works.
Franchising.
There is a sequel series, animated, coming to Paramount Plus, supposedly in 2025.
That's what I'm most excited for.
This one will feature a new avatar who will be the Earthbender.
Hell yeah.
And we got a video game.
That's what I was saying. Those video game tie-ins. I remember playing the one on the PlayStation 2. It was horrible. It was so bad.
I was looking at some of them and I was just like, oh, why did we do this? For the Wii. So the question of the week. And I couldn't really form this in the question, so maybe you can help me on the spot here.
Okay.
There's a difference between One Piece and Last Airbender, right?
Yes. The live-action remakes.
Yes. Do we really want to see another studio try to remake in live action to adapt like Naruto? Because there's bad.
But there's also very good.
The thing with me about One Piece is lightning only strikes once.
Yeah, I don't think you can bank on doing it as good as One Piece did it.
It was that one-time shot. Watch, the second season probably won't be good.
I'm nervous about that. Mm-hmm. But at least the first season's still going to be always amazing.
Yeah.
I guess the question is, do you want more live actions? Looking at One Piece and Avatar, do you think the risk outweighs the reward of what we could potentially get? Because that's the thing.
Do you want to see it, or do you want to see how bad it is?
Because there's live action Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood movies out there.
Yep.
We never watched them.
I saw a picture of their dad.
Yeah.
In live action, and I was like, you don't even look like him.
And the thing is, because these stories always have really magical elements to it. Like really crazy looking characters and a lot of crazy magic. And that always requires a lot of CG when you do it live action. And lots of times the CG doesn't look good.
Nope.
And you can do it with puppetry. And I think that's part of the reason why One Piece works really good, is because a lot of it is practical effects. But I think the more you have to rely on CG, the less good it's likely to be. Mm-hmm. Naruto, how much magic do they have going on in there?
They gotta do the bleeding noses.
Oh, I just remembered Orochimaru exists, so it's gonna be a lot of CG.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll figure out the question, but it will be there. Mm-hmm. Okay, and it's time for Pokemon news.
Pokemon news. Yeah, it was.
I waited forever for this.
The big old direct that we were all eagerly waiting for
on Pokemon Day,
and it was 12 minutes long.
And oh my god, I learned things that I never gave a fuck to learn about before.
Cafe Remix.
Cafe Remix.
Wow. Unite. Wow.
Hey, Sir Coolidge or whatever is in Unite.
Cerulege.
And he will be in Pokemon Go at some point in the future.
Cerulege. It's like Cerulean Edge.
New Pokemon Master Sex.
Yeah. Good old Masters X. I don't even remember who they announced, honestly.
Oh yeah, more tarot reads for Scarlet and Violet. And then, so the legendary dogs are beasts.
Yeah, beasts.
Are showing up in Pokemon Sleep.
You're falling asleep right now. Can't wait to get that Entei.
I need more seltzer.
If I woke up and there was an Entei in my room, I would not be like, oh, cool.
And then the new trading card game app.
Yeah, finally. I've been waiting for this for forever.
They've been working on this thing for years. So yeah, for it to finally show its face, because you can get an app right now. It works like ass, but you can get one. Mm-hmm. This new one looks way better and more friendly.
Yeah, they said...
but they said later this year you'll get it.
Smaller battle systems for faster game.
Yep.
Which I'm so on board with. And you get 2 free packs a day.
A day.
I would get it just because I love my Pokemon cards.
Okay.
Give me the cool ones from my childhood. And they have something called interactive cards where like you tap on it and like you get zooped into a little mini cutscene of the scene in the card.
Yep.
I'm sold. I want it now. Give it to me, Nintendo.
Yeah, I'll try it. I'll pick it up and I'll use it. But I'd rather just get the real cards.
Yeah, maybe this will help make that we get real cards cheaper.
Maybe. The big announcement was, of course, at the very end, in which they announced a new Pokemon Legends game, Z2A.
Yeah, we all were waiting for Johto or Unova, and they Elmer Fudded us and gave us Kalos.
They gave us Pokemon Za.
Which is crazy. Good old Pokemon Pizza. Which is crazy, because I was like, Kalos was so recent. And then I realized, no, it was 10 years ago, actually.
It's 11 years ago.
Yeah. So, it wasn't actually recent. I'm old.
The trailer did not show us this much, except for Lumino City and just going through it.
Yeah, the rumor is that it's only going to take place in Lumio City.
And it will be their most... What is that word? I keep forgetting it. Prestigious? No.
Expansive?
Like the most difficult thing they've ever done as the Pokemon company.
Oh.
Like that is apparently the mindset they want for this. This is going to be the biggest game they've ever made.
Which is, I'm excited.
Some people are saying it'll be like GTA, where you just run around in the city and you're just fighting crime.
I saw people thinking it could be like Persona 5, which is similar. You know, it's all technically just takes place in the one city, but there are levels of exploration beyond that you can play with.
That's kind of weird to me. Are we stuck in a city?
Because I was like, that's weird, but we also never got to see all of Lumio City.
Nope. In
X and Y. And now we're finally getting Z. Finally.
Yeah, so Pokemon Z, which was reworked into Sun and Moon.
ZA, like Az, who I had to explain to you who Az is earlier.
Aslan.
AZ, Az, the guy with the floette.
Yeah, I know. Go ahead.
There's also... I was looking into it, and the Eiffel Tower was built in the 60s, so maybe we'll be in the 60s, and then we get cute 60s clothes for our characters. I'm gonna look so cute. I'll have the best little skirt on.
I don't care about any of that. What? Are Megas coming back?
Probably.
Why is the last one called Arceus and this is Z to A?
We get Mega Charizard Z. That's the only Mega in the whole game. None of the others.
He goes Fire Fairy. Oh.
Good stuff.
But he can... Never mind. I don't want to deal with that. Yeah, so... Again, 2025. You
Yeah.
guys keep pushing these things back. Why did you announce anything?
Yeah, it really felt like they had nothing to really actually talk
Yeah,
about
which
during
is-
Pokemon Day this year.
Which is kind of bizarre. So there is no Johto remake? Let's Go is not a thing?
Which
or are we holding that back for the summer?
And it was because there was a lot of Johto in that trailer.
Yes.
Like, there was one trainer who had a whole Johto team with the shiny Tyranitar. Unknown followed Pikachu throughout the trailer as Pikachu, like, brought us 2 announcements and stuff. Entei, the legendary beasts being in Pokemon Sleep. Johto was all over it, but then nothing Johto happened.
Yeah.
So, my theory is they have more things that they are working on. They're just not ready to show it yet, because every time Nintendo reveals something, it comes with gameplay. And I bet they're just fine-tuning the gameplay to make it actually be able to show. Like, we'll get another Direct, like, next month, and that's where we'll get all the stuff we were waiting for.
I hope that's why. But that's really messed up that you just pooped on your dinner plate, because especially on your day of birth.
Yeah. Like, you could at least announce something.
Yeah, just in the future, plan for this day to be a big day. Otherwise, don't even bother.
Yeah.
I'm just still let down by it.
You gave us just nothing. All I'm sitting here doing is, I want Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
I want that trading card game, and that's not even out yet.
Well, they said later this year. Remember when Sleep was like, oh, it's coming out in like 2021, and then 2023
Yep.
at the end. They're like, yeah, it's kind of half working.
Like,
Where's Pokemon Smile?
it's a thing.
It is?
Yeah, you can download it right now.
Well, I gotta go get that.
To help you brush your teeth.
Help me brush my toothies. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed this coffee break. I am tired.
Yeah, it's a slightly long coffee break. Not as long as I thought it was going to be.
No, I powered through it.
Yeah.
I powered on.
All right.
I hope you guys have a good week. Enjoy the PowerOns if you have a chance. And there is another PowerOn that's about to start really soon.
Nice.
Okay, bye.
Bye.